Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, reviews. And today, I'm reviewing Quantum Leap, episode 18, the season finale. It's entitled Judgment Day, and it's coming to you from NBC, streaming on Peacock. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? Before we get into the video, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, it all comes down to this, the final battle, if you will. And Ben does something. He goes somewhere no leaper, to our knowledge, has ever gone before. To the future. That, yes, to the far future, where we see Ian, who somehow has managed to, live all the way through the nuclear winter into his old age, just so he could pass on this message to our good friend Ben. And this is all about that slingshot thing that he was talking about, like in episode 3 or 4, something like that. And this is all the, the plan of future Ian, who we know leaped back to the past specifically to tell Ben to start this whole journey. And that is to save the life of Addison. But more to the point, to save the lives of the people at Project Quantum Leap, because apparently in the future, the government blamed Quantum Leap for how everything messed up and there was a big old nuclear war and everything like that. And so this is Ian's last shot at saving the future. Yes, he's the Doc Brown in this situation. And this leads Ben to be pulled back by the quantum accelerator all the way back to 2018 when he is on the project, but he and Addison hadn't gotten together. Things are very much different. It feels like a whole different world because, 5 years ago, what the heck was going on with us, right? So this is all about Ben, for the first time. We sort of flirted with this earlier in the season with the episode where Ben was he was in the basketball coach and sort of changed Ian's understanding of the nearby past history. But this time he's messing with his own actual timeline, and all the consequences would be, I guess, the destruction of all space-time if he screws everything up. But Ben's song is nothing if not intuitive about what he actually ought to be doing. And this is all about saving Addison. That was the whole point. But then only to later learn that he wasn't. And also he had to deliver a message in the future. He had to remember this very specific formula so that he could deliver it to Ian so they could figure out what to do with it. Because it's very important to say that. Oh, and did I mention Martinez is back to the past also to basically kill them, as I said earlier. And so this turns into a couple things. One is a bit of I don't want to call it a comedy of errors, trying to have a conversation with Addison while also having a conversation with younger Addison on the day that they had their first date. But also, once he's like, screw this, forget that, I'm just gonna tell you everything that's going on. It does bring to mind something very important about being a leaper, which is you look like a crazy person talking about that you're from the future. I mean, it helps that he's in his own body again, and the fact that he works on Project Quantum Leap. And it really actually makes me wonder, don't they think about these things at Project Quantum Leap, that maybe someone from the future might send someone back to them? Because it seems pretty clear that Martinez has a lot more control over where he's going, maybe, which is a reflection of the Project Quantum Leap in the future sort of getting the technology better than that. So I don't know. There should be an evil leaper protocol or something. This season kind of underscores that. But anyway, this all leads to a lot of fun shenanigans. Martinez gets into Magic's body, so Ben's kind of up against the wall and everything. But it also gives the other members of the team, particularly Jen and Magic, a chance to jump in and literally be in the hologram, the hologram for him, to help him to kind of work his way through that, because how well they know themselves from back then. It leads to some pretty fun and funny stuff too. But this is a far more serious episode. I'll shout out to Mason Park because Ian had a lot to do. I noticed that earlier in the season they had Ian be the person that warned Ben about what was going on, and then later on, Ian being the and the stinger. So clearly, super important to this, and that holds up in this episode, where their past, present, and future are literally the key to kind of solving this problem. But in addition to, and by the way, I think that's very interesting. We know Mason's. I'm not Mason. Ian is like a big old nerd, obviously, and super smart and everything. It's pretty fun to find out that Dark Souls totally just kind of ruined their I guess their understanding of their video gaming skills, and that it was an obsession. But it also was important to help them sort of solve the riddle of that special equation, calling it a cheat code, to essentially help Ben kind of relive a leap so that he could fix what he was kind of messing up in this first time around. Very smart and very on point about what was probably going to happen, knowing Ben. But also, it was fun to see Ben and Addison sort of like have their little meet cute, or not even really meet cute, but their first date and all that. And Addison really being the person we expect her to be, but just like less trusting of Ben because they hadn't fallen in love yet. And younger Jen and all of that stuff was really fun to watch. And Martinez, as the antagonist, lives up to the hype. Like really does live up to the hype of being like a badass that is absolutely going to go back in time and murder through the grandfather paradox, and doesn't care that he's going to die because he's a soldier, and that's his whole thing. You got to respect that. In the future, he was not only given a job, but also was a true believer that the fact that quantum leap is a bad thing, and uses the technology to try to end the threat, so to speak. And this leads to, when he leaps into magic, it kind of leads to a real conflict with Ben and everything like that. But also, again, he's able to convince Magic and Jen that he's the real deal. And, even Addison, he's the real deal, thanks to the knowledge from the holograms. So it leads to when they use that he's going to destroy the quantum accelerator, destroy everything, leads to a fun little sequence of them jumping through previous leaps and just having it out. Basically, there was 4 times they were in the same timeline with each other, and so using those to sort of have it out. And Martinez being an absolute, like, as he says, he's like, he really is a Terminator, just kicking Ben's ass. I mean, it was a good time. Like Ben, he tried, he was giving it his all, and he had previous leaps that sort of taught him some things, but not so much. And he got some midshipmen beat up in one timeline, but it all led to going back to the first time they leapt together back in the old West in California, and a really great time. But I mean, it leads to like the end of Martinez that's very satisfying, and also just like callbacks. I love the fact that the callbacks within this episode made sense and they mattered, but they weren't just like oh hey, remember that? No, it made sense what was going on. And then he can go back, Ben can go back and sort of fix the timeline, and I would say making it better. It was funny. He's self-reflecting, going back and thinking like, wow, I kind of did a creep move to figure out whether or not I should ask Addison out. And it was funny, but also like it's cool that Ben is able to self-reflect and kind of think like, I could be better than I was. Really cool stuff. And also, look, I know it's cliche and everything, but the bit where he was just like, screw asking you out on a date, he just goes up and like lays it on Addison. And yeah, I know that he didn't ask for consent or anything. I get that. Let's have some artistic license here, and understand that like Ben believes, and I think Addison has come to believe too, that they are fated to be together. That somehow, whatever is moving the quantum accelerator to move Ben and Sam Beckett around in time and fixing things, is also aiming to keep them together. And I think there was hints of that within the episode. So that was very satisfying. Also, the only thing that really kind of I hit up on in this episode, I really loved this episode. I had a great time with it, but was that ending, that no ending, not just ending on a cliffhanger. Something's happening, but it's not clear that Ben made it home, and I was that was pretty tough for me to take in, because I really liked the episode, but that ending, like no definitive anything, who knows who's coming out that quantum accelerator. It's pretty tough, and I'm going to say not Ben. If Sam Beckett comes out of that, sweet, but I'm going to say not Ben. Because what are they going to do for the next season? Who's going to voluntarily be leaping around? I don't think so. So all said and done, I really like this season of Quantum Leap. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It had a few, lesser episodes, but for the most part, I really enjoyed all of the leaping and the central storyline, all of that stuff. There were some real surprises. They swerved on me a few times, but just generally speaking, pretty much gave me exactly what I wanted out of this show. And I'll also say that the cast is pretty great. I like that they finally got around to really incorporating them more into it. I know it's hard to do that because, Ben and his leaps are kind of supposed to be the main focus, but it was good to see stuff outside of the accelerator. And in particular, Mason Park just killed it all season. I wasn't sure if I was going to like their character early on, but the fact that they gave that character room to breathe was really a good thing for it, and we got to really know them a lot more. I also want to say Caitlin Bassett. She is what a great find for this show. Not a whole lot of acting credits to her name, but man, she is Addison. She embodies it. I loved her performances week in and week out. And not only I think she got stronger and stronger as the season progressed. Really, really great stuff from her. Can't wait to see more of her. And whatever she does, if she has time between that and she goes into other things, I want to see what she's up to, because I think she really killed it as Addison. And we can't, you can't have this without Raymond Lee, who is just he's a great leaper. He had great material written for him, but he elevated it. He really made me care about this show and the leaps and everything like that, in the way that I remember about the original Quantum Leap. I've said before, he is worthy of being a leaper because of his intuition and his empathy and just being able to kind of navigate human interaction. And so I love that Raymond Lee was really able to bring that humanity to him and really make us love Dr. Ben Song. So I don't have anything else to say. Love this season. Love this episode. So what did you guys think about it? And what do you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section. Leave your thoughts there. And, of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do me a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow the channel, helps more people to see these videos. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me. Come back to the channel. I do plenty more of other kinds of reviews and, of course, a podcast. So you can check all that stuff out there. Until then, I've been Mo de Poupée, resident fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.